Today we are at Hoboken Terminal in New Jersey, just outside New York City. This terminal serves New Jersey Transit trains, as well as Metro North trains that travel west of the Hudson River. In this video, we will be watching the morning rush and going over different locomotives served by both of these railroads. So let's get right into it. First up is New Jersey Transit GP40PH-2 locomotives. NJT received new GP40 locomotives 3 separate times in the 1990s. The first were when they sent out their ex-CNJ GP40PH units to be rebuilt as GP40PH-2s. The second set were built by Morrison Knudsen in 1993, designated GP40PH-2A. And the third order were rebuilt from ex-Penn Central locomotives by Conrail in 1993 to 1994. These were classified as GP40PH-2B. All locomotives from the first two orders have been retired. There are currently 19 of these locomotives in service, numbered 4200 to 4219. So what does GP40PH-2B stand for? The GP standing for General Purpose, 40 for 40 series locomotive, P for passenger, H for head-end power, -2 for -2 electronics, and B meaning that they are from the order of ex-Penn Central units built by Conrail. These locomotives utilize EMD's 645E3 prime mover, providing 3,000 horsepower and 61,000 pounds tractive effort. All of these locomotives were built for passenger service, so you might notice that they are slightly longer than a regular GP40, 3 foot 6 inches to be exact. This is to accommodate for the Cummins HEP generator at the back of the long hood, as indicated by the extra fan on top. I'd like to note that the locomotive was not initially lengthened for the HEP generator, but for a steam generator from back in the days before head-end power was popular. The steam generators were swapped out when they were still owned by the CNJ. You can also easily see exhaust from both the prime mover and HEP generator separately, especially on a cold day. NJT operates multiple GP40-2B heritage units, adorned in its ancestral railroad's paint schemes like Conrail and CNJ. There are none here today, but hopefully next time there will be. Next up is the ALP-45DP. These were bought to replace NJT's aging diesel locomotives, subsequently replacing all GP40FH-2s and a majority of GP40-2s. These are dual-mode locomotives, capable of using overhead wires via pantograph that's mounted on the rear of the locomotive, providing passengers with a one-seat ride into Penn Station, where diesels were previously used and passengers would have to transfer just outside of Manhattan. New Jersey Transit purchased 26 ALP-45DPs in 2008, and the first was officially unveiled at Penn Station on May 11, 2011. These units were built by Bombardier and are numbered 4500 to 4534. In 2017, NJT placed a second order of these locomotives, designated ALP-45A. These are numbered 4535 to 4559, and were intended to replace aging PL42AC locomotives. Interestingly enough, Bombardier started to fulfill this order, but then was bought out by Alstom in 2021, and they will be completing the rest. You can tell the two apart by the fact that they are marked by their respective builder on the side, toward the back of the locomotive. However, some of them do not have their respective badges, so when in doubt, the engine number is a sure way to know. However, you can generally tell how old a locomotive is just by looking at it. Some of them are pretty beat up. Multiple of these locomotives have commemorative stickers for branches of the United States military and first responders. And I was also lucky enough to be here when the Erie-Lackawanna Heritage Unit, number 4519, pulled in. A stands for American, L for locomotive, P for passenger, 4 for 4 axles, 5 for up to 5 megawatts, and DP for dual power. They are powered by 2 Caterpillar 3512C HD engines that can work independently of one another if there is a problem or under low load. These produce 2,100 horsepower each with up to 65,000 pounds tractive effort. And lastly for today's video would be Alstom's PL42AC locomotives. These were built by Alstom in conjunction with EMD, and 33 of them were built between 2003 and 2006. These are interesting in the sense that they were designed by the same designer of the GE Genesis locomotives, Cesar Vergara, known for his lightweight monocoque car body design. These are currently being displaced by new ALP-45A locomotives due to not being able to meet stringent EPA standards. 23 out of the 33 locomotives are slated for replacement. These were all originally numbered 4000 to 4032. P stands for passenger, L for locomotive, 42 for 4200 horsepower, and AC for AC traction. They utilize an EMD 710 G3B producing, like I just mentioned, 4200 horsepower with 70,000 pounds tractive effort. This is the same 16-cylinder prime mover that came in the SD70M and SD70 Mac back in 2003. Looking at them up close, they do have a strikingly similar appearance to the GE Genesis locomotives. However, it's unfortunate that these locomotives are meeting their demise, but with ever-increasingly stringent emissions regulations, they have reached the end of their useful service life. Except for the 10 that they're going to be keeping and lightly overhauling, that is. And that's going to do it for today's video. If you liked it, please consider giving it a thumbs up, leaving a comment, or subscribing. It would mean a lot to me. I'm going to leave off with some other clips that I shot that day. I'll see you all next time. It's common for NJT to back locomotives up to the station platforms when switching them around the yard.